Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, another episode of me promising that I'm going to be doing other things besides just solo RPGs, but for right now, solo RPGs are it, so thumbs up for that. Thank you for tuning in. Definitely a good thing. Last time we did any of this stuff, I made up characters for this game, for 4 Against Darkness, and for D100 Dungeon. But since I have already taken a character who still exists, and I've taken them through a dungeon and killed the boss, I am giving them a momentary rest and using this new made-up character because instead of just playing regular standard basic Notequest, we're going to try the expanded world part, and we are going to go hex crawling and then finding out what the world looks like. Now, there are a few differences. You start off when you want to go out into the world with 20 provisions. Now, this has always been at the bottom of the character sheet, provisions. But unless you use the expanded world rules, that means nothing. These are like torches in that you have to spend a number of rations when you go moving through the world that you are creating as you go hex crawling. So thumbs up on that. You start off with 20, and when you go into a city, you can spend 1 to get 1 coin to get 1 provision back up to a maximum of 20. So very, very cool. Well, sort of. I mean, you don't want to starve. If you do run out of provisions and you're out in the world, instead of losing a provision, you lose a hit point for every provision you would be losing. So, yay. Taking our hex sheet here as well, you will need a sheet with a hexagonal grid. Choose a hex to start. We recommend drawing with the center hex and draw a symbol to represent your first city. It will be a human city on a plane. Then finally, roll to see what the 6 neighboring lands will be. I actually am going to need my this. I need to make notes and put the notes onto here. I used this, I've just never actually used it while on video. So I'm going to be making notes on here. I'm going to take this page away because that's some 4 Against Darkness battles that I was doing, and I can still use that page on the next 4 Against Darkness adventure. But for this one, we're going to make a mark. Like right here in the very center one, which I don't know where the exact center is, so we're going to put that right here to make a symbol with a human city for here. Do they say what kind of terrain that we start in? Oh, it's a plains. So we'll write, oh, my pencil lead just shattered a bit. It's plains, and we'll put a big old H. Just shattered again. Good Lord. HC for human city. Well, after saying I haven't used the pencil. Oh, this is special. Come on. I have like no lead that was out of the wood, basically. Now there's some. Thank goodness. Okay, so we have a human city on the plains with this lead mark where I move my finger to move the lead. Okay, and we have the 20 planes, and that's good. 20 planes, 20 provisions, and we've got the human city right here. Now, walking around, you will have to move hexagon by hexagon. First, though, we have to... They don't do a very good job of showing how you do this, but I don't know if we're in a hot terrain or a cold climate. It depends. What happens if you're in a neutral one that's not really hot or cold? I mean, good golly, Miss Molly, you know? So, well, we'll call it hot. Why not? Just so that we know. Okay, so this is hot terrain. hot climate in the terrain, and we just roll to see what the 6 neighboring lands will be. We are in a plain. Current terrain is a plain. So we'll make a roll for the first one. And I'm pointing at it. It's far away, so it's hard to see. I understand. My apologies. That is a 5. There is another plane here. Now that I've made it P for plane, leaving myself no room to do any other writing. Well, I'll be smarter for the next one, but I'm not gonna smarten myself up. Mountain. I mean, I am, just not yet. I probably should write differently so that you could tell what the heck I'm writing. And a 4, which is another plane. And then we are on to another mountain. And then we check the next. Well, that's another plane. Huh. A lot of plains and mountains. It's like I just keep rolling 2s and 4s. Gotta love that. And a 6, a plane. Lots of planes around here. Okay. We have rolled on there. We have seen what the terrain is like around the city. Then we actually just now go traveling, and we move hex by hex. Plains take 1's provision. Mountains take 3. Anything that's not a mountain or a plains takes 2. And unless you have a boat, you can't travel across water. And that's it. We now go traveling. And there's also, when revealing a hexagon, roll a die. If it's a number 6, there's a location, then roll on the table below. Well, we have the plains around here. Let's see, right off the bat, if there is any locations. We are on a plains. We are rolling 4 of these because there are 6 of them around us. We just need to roll 2 more once we've done this. We're going to start with the first big old plains one and work our way around with a 2, 4, 6. Oh, 2, 4, 6. There is a location at that one here. And that will be, on this table, it is in Orc City. Orc, O-C, Orc City. Okay. That's cool. And then we roll again. Oh, on the next one, there is a location. And there we go, which is right next to it. And then the next one, there is nothing. So let us roll and see what the location is. It is a 3. There are ruins. This is a dungeon that can be explored. If I don't even have to go, I mean, I will have to travel to get there. But this is what we're looking at so far, so that we can see. There's the human city here with the plains, mountains, Orc City, ruins, plain, and plain. And that's just how quick and easy it is to go hex crawling for your first move, quote unquote move, in a Notequest Expanded World. Land of the location. Oh, well, there's plain, mountain, forest, water, swamp, desert, glacier, tundra. I should have done that differently. This is mountains. That would have been, that was, well, ruins is still ruins, but the Orc City was on plains. I did everything correctly accidentally. The only thing I would have rolled differently would have been for mountains, and that was still ruins. Okay, very, very cool. Now, in cities, you can discover dungeons and perform various actions. Fortresses are like cities, more option. Ruins are like dungeons. Reefs is if you're on a ship. Thin ice, I still think is ridiculous. You fall into freezing water and die. No, we'll work on something different. There's a volcanic cave, another place you can explore, or an oasis, a portal that takes you to another world, or rocks you can't travel. And then whenever you enter a hex that doesn't have location, roll 2d6 If it's a 7 or more, nothing happened. If not, you have found an event. So if I go traveling here, well, good golly, Miss Molly, doesn't have a location. Once again, this person who wrote this, very imaginative, desperately needs an editor. But we take a look here, and then there's the different city types. You can rest, fix your armor, buy stuff, sell stuff, ask where dungeons are, hire a boat. Different cultures. There's human, dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, and orc. You can buy an orc. Oh, an orc gladio, a weapon. Okay. There's also affinities. My character is actually gnome. There is an orc city. Can a gnome, the only thing they can't do is go into an orc city. So this orc city right here, any asterisk, or that's actually a star. Any badly drawn star image like we have there is going to indicate that I can't go in there. We're even going to go like this. Can't enter city. There we go. Any other place I would have been good at, but orcs and ogres, nope. So that's fine. That's good. And then, of course, finding dungeons. You have to find them or discover them as you go into a place. You can ask about them, and if you do, you can go and start checking the various hexes, and then the fortresses. Could have extra dungeons, and then here's the way you would name your dungeon if you find it. And then you just start going into getting money. You can work, gamble, you can be a thug. This is how you do ruins. You roll on the dungeon type table. There's portals, they take you to a new world, and then you can't come back. But I don't know if I like that idea either. I like the idea of being able to travel world to world. And then there's the other types of worlds, like hell and the underworld. I don't know how to pronounce this, nor do I know if it's a real world. Pesadillum? It looks like it would be Latin. And Candy World? And then, of course, there's new races, exotic races, monster races, prohibited races, advanced classes, new spells, training animals, hiring creatures, buildings that you can build, warfare if you want to go storming castles and becoming a warlord, and then if you want to have group play. And then once you find an area to go into, it just goes to regular flop yourself open to these pages and get going if you're going to go exploring into a dungeon type thing. But we are still here, hexploring the world with Blorbo, the gnome noble, who has 14 hit points and a whatever the hell thing rapier. And then, of course, nothing else, except for these spells. I have quite a few spells there. Thumbs up for that. So, we are going to move. And by moving into a plane, we're going here into this plane. We're just going to... Boy, that's a tough one. How do I indicate where I am without ruining too much stuff? I'm just going to put a little dot to indicate that's where I am, so that I've only got a tiny dot to mark off. It's going to be hard to see. It's even hard for me to see. It's right up above the big P on the word plane. That's where we are. We went there. That uses up one of our 20 provisions. Oh dear. So now is where we start going, good golly, Miss Molly, where do we head? Well, we might as well... Oh, I got eraser stuff on there. We might as well head north, right up here. Well, I mean, north goes into one of two places, so what the heck. There, we're going to go this direction, into this hex here. So, first thing, we roll 2d6. 7 or more, nothing happens. And, as you can see, that is a 3. That is not a 7 or more. Okay. I am lucky. Our terrain is plain, so now we roll 2D. Check the result before. The result was a 3, and there is an orc. One orc. Oh my gosh. Okay, one orc. Orc with 6 hit points does 3 damage and can loot. Oh boy. Okay, so we have traveled into this hex. And if we survive, we'll be able to find out what kind of hex we have entered. Hokey smokes. Okie dokie. Well, I attack first. And with my rapier, it is 1d6 plus 1. So that's actually very, very good, even though it's not a vampiric machete. We do 3 points of damage. That's not bad. 3 points of damage. I mean, that's half the orc's hit points right there. Of course, we take 3 points of damage because it does 3 damage each round. I am down to 11 hit points. Oh boy. So, I could cast Cold Ray. I could cast Lightning. I could cast Fireball. All of which would be wasted on this orc because I am going to do I am going to try that again. I am going to do damage on the orc plus 1, another 3. This orc is a dead orc. Goodbye. You're dead. Now I need to turn to. Yes, I don't have to do that at all. Thank goodness. Okay. It's actually the loot. After the fight, roll 1d6. On a 6 is 1 treasure. On a 5, it's 1 key. 4 or less, 1 coin. So I found a coin, but 1 treasure. Again, what table do I look on to find the treasure for that? There is no overworld treasure table. But I do have 1 coin, and I'm just going to use tally marks for the coins. Okay, I did survive that. The monster did not. There's just 1 orc left to rot for other creatures to eat. I don't have to do that. I mean, I could just eat the orc. It wouldn't count on the table or anything like that, but it would be for role-playing purposes. And in fact, for role-playing purposes, I eat the orc. I chop it up into pieces, cut up the steaks, and just grill them, and then chow on the meat of a formerly living, once sentient being. Cool. Okay, so now we roll a die to find out what we have, and it is a 6. There's a location, and then we roll a die on the table below. Okay, let us roll and see if there is a location on top of whatever type of. Well, first let's do this. It is a plane, right? Well, no, we're finding out if it's a plane. My current one is a plane. We're going up to here. We roll on the plane table. A 4. It's still a plane. How about that? Okay. And then we roll a 6-sided die, and if it's a 6, there's a location. It is a 5, there is none. Okay. That used up 1 provision. And I know nothing about any of these areas because there's no city here. But 1 provision having gone here, and this is again what we're looking at, these human city in the middle where I am, well, was, and then the plane up there at the top. Very, very good. I'm going to move from here, though, to here, right next to it. This direction off to the left. Bingo. Okay then. So, first, no location. Well, if it doesn't have a location. Okay, I'm almost beginning to understand better. This is a learning experience for all of us. It looks first, if there's no location, then you roll on the event. To see. So I just did that in backwards order. Sort of? Okay, so we're going to go here and we're going to try that. We're still moving here. I was just talking about what I might have messed up in the last turn. So let us look over here. We're going from plain to... Ay, ay, ay. I almost threw that on the floor. A 2. Oh, that's mountain over there. So this is mountain. We're going to write mountain. Very, very poorly. And then we check to see if there is a location there. 3. No location. And then we check events. No location. Roll the 2d6 at this point. Okay. And if it's a 7 or more, then nothing happened. There was no location. It's an 8. Nothing happens. It is a very, very pleasant and wonderful horse ride by clapping together bits of coconuts, because I didn't actually have any coconuts with me. Still, though, that's a mountain that uses 3 provisions. That uses 3. 3 provisions. 1. And this is important if I need to backtrack quickly, because I probably would want to avoid areas that have to eat a lot of my provisions if I don't have to eat a lot of the provisions. Oy. So then we're going to move from the mountain over here, because I'm trying to get the best route to the city in case anything goes wrong and I can bypass that mountain there. Which makes sense. Okay, we're going to go down to this one here. We're moving from mountain, and we locate, out of the way, pencil, you're only showing me where I was, a 4. That is a forest. There is a forest right here. I was going to try and make a pun or something about forest. Like, I think about... what was his name? The guy on the old original Star Trek that played the doctor guy. You know, Bones. Like, whatever the hell his name was.